Good morning and welcome to Fat 50 and Anorexic. My name is Lois. Welcome to my show. I wanted to get on here while I felt like this and look a little disheveled. I just got up. I am not sleeping well. Do you go through that with your eating disorder? A lot of us do, from what I learned in my group and through counseling, is that insomnia is part of our the depression and anxiety that comes with being anorexic. And it's so hard. I mean, because I also just went through menopause. The last 10 years I went through menopause. I don't want to make that sound like I went through it in a week. It's been really hard with hot flashes and being sick or not feeling well, and then the other things, moodiness, the way you feel as your body's changing. Is it my eating disorder? Is it my menopause? What the hell is happening to me? So thank God that seems to have stopped. I'm not even having hot flashes hardly ever anymore. But the insomnia thing is really tough, and I wondered how many of you go through that. I know several people in my group went when I was with the intense outpatient program, which I just got out of a couple weeks ago. And now I'm in a lower level of care where we only meet for, I think, an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. It's shorter than 2 hours once a week. So, and I'm not eating right now hardly at all. And so that's part of why I'm not sleeping, as I understand it. The more you eat, the better your body works. That makes so much sense, doesn't it? Makes sense. If it was that easy, if it was that easy to just eat. Just eat. I think that's what I'm going to title this one. Just eat. The just eat is what drives me to throw up what I've been made to eat. And I haven't done that in years because I feel in this illness, you have to pull yourself out of the hole when you get in a hole. Just like an alcoholic does, just like somebody with diabetes that's not following the rules and they start to have problems. I mean, those are the two that come to my mind that resemble what we live with every day. Because if you get off of their programs, people can see them derail, right, with all their symptoms. When you have an eating disorder, and most of it's very secretive, we keep it a secret because whether you're binging and purging, which is harder to keep a secret because people can hear you, no matter how quietly you think you're throwing up, I'm here to tell you, if your family is suspicious that that's what you're doing, more than not, I bet somebody's near that door and can hear you quietly throwing up. And that's the difference between throwing up with gastroparesis while I'm thinking about it and throwing up by making yourself throw up, is that when you make yourself throw up, it's not as aggressive, not half as aggressive as when you sit up with hot or with cold sweats and you're shaking and you're nauseous and your head hurts a little bit, and then all of a sudden, it just, if you don't get to the toilet, you are going to be in a mess because I've fallen to the floor and I've continued to throw up like that. And yes, there is a trigger warning on this. It may be small, but I'm doing this because, and speaking frankly, because I can in my eating disorder groups, because they don't want us to trigger each other. Now, the one that I'm in now, I learned when I went the first time last week that there are still borders for what you can discuss. Like, you can't discuss too graphically how you throw up. I mean, that will trigger other people. Or how are you deceive other people with your tricks, which is so funny. We don't trick anybody. People see us shrinking or getting bigger or becoming pale and short-winded and not able to do much of anything. Even if you aren't gaining or losing weight, you're physically going to get weak. So the whole thing with the throwing up, it's very different with gastroparesis because your stomach is a muscle that's frozen or in a clamp. And I take what is it? Erythromycin to help move my stomach. It's an antibiotic, and which is really nice because I have periodermatitis. It's part of my skin problems with my eating disorder, and I'll get little tiny bumps that itch. They look like little tiny whiteheads, but they're not. So picking at them doesn't do anything. But the little bumps won't go away without erythromycin. So that's why I don't wear makeup a lot, because it aggravates my periodermatitis. I'll even get up here around my eyes. I've got a scar up here from where I had a little circle patch of it, and it was when I was first getting sick with it, and I didn't know what this was. It's moving around my face, and I scratched it and would itch it, and it left me with a little scar. Oh well. So the main topic today for me was talking about insomnia. Yeah, the getting sick part was just a bonus for you. Anyway, the getting insomnia is really hard, and I'm on 6 medications right now for either my stomach motility, my bowel motility, which doesn't help. The only thing that helps me is a lot of prune juice, and walking, twisting, moving throughout an entire day. Sometimes I get backed up for, I think the longest has been 6-7 days, and that's miserable because you don't want to eat then, right? Someone said to me once, what came first, gastroparesis or anorexia? And to me, that's my case, but that might be any eating disorder. So your behavior makes your illness worse because you're reacting to going through something else. It might not be gastroparesis for you. It might be something else. But boy, don't wait. Talk to your doctors. Get them on board and keep trying to build yourself a team of a gastroenterologist. You might need a cardiac doctor like I do because I have a pacemaker from our anorexics anyway. That's the only thing I know a lot about. I know a little bit about bulimia from a friend that has it, and we talk quite frankly about our eating disorders, but she moved away, and I don't really get to see her very often anymore, and you don't like to go on and on social media about that kind of thing, even in the direct messages. So insomnia, it's just a part of it, and you have to get medication to help you fall asleep. Your mind gets on thoughts. Mine, unfortunately, is always about what did I eat today? What did I eat today? Did I eat something I forgot about? And I eat so little that that's silly, but I catch myself doing it at night. Or I pray and I pray and I pray, and then I start to pray over again, for people or for the war, whatever's on your prayer list. And I'll start ruminating on that. And before I know it, it's 1 o'clock, and I lay down around 9:30 or 10. And then it's 2 o'clock, and you're like, oh my God, please, I need to fall asleep. Because Mark, my husband, wakes up around 6, and then that stirs me, and then I really never get back to sleep after that. So it really wears on me. So if you aren't sleeping, talk to your doctor, because it's part of your eating disorder. Just like our memory, we can be talking and we just lose our thought. And I thought it was menopause, and I believe part of it is menopause. I mean, this all can't be my eating disorder, everything I'm going through. But that's why I made this channel for women who are over 50 who can relate to what I'm saying. I don't want to not be relatable for you. I want to put out content that at least makes you realize you're not alone. There's other women out there, because I didn't find any women our age when I searched for older women, older anorexia, older women and anorexia. And I found 2 women in the UK. It was a really interesting show that they did. It was a news show that they did on anorexia and the aging. But see, we're not old. When we're in our 50s, we're not old yet. We may seem old to young people, but really, in the scheme of things, we're not old yet. We're on the front porch. We're at the door, but we're not old yet. And my hair is driving me insane. I could have brushed it, and I could have put it up in breaths, but I need to get a shower this morning, and I really feel like sometimes it's good for you to see me when I'm struggling. I'm so tired. I know my eyes look terrible. I lost the fat pads. I've lost the fat pads in my eyes and I guess on the side of my face, right up here in my temples. So I hope that doesn't mean my brain has shrunk. Because, yeah, our brains can shrink from starvation. Not 6 months in. Years in. Years of doing this will whittle away. And I didn't know that. That was something I learned when I was hospitalized recently for malnutrition. I thought because I was the size that I am, I'd say I'm a medium size, a little less than medium, but for me, I'm used to being on the thin side, and it's really hard for me. And since menopause did come on, I've had a harder and harder time being able to control my weight with my anorexic behavior, which just makes my anorexia worse, right? If I'm not getting to the goal. I'm not on the scale right now. If you, for some weird reason, don't know this rule, don't get on the scale. That's what the doctors and psychiatrists, the counselors tell us, is to stay off the scale. And you can flag your account through most big medical organizations. Your primary doctor can flag your account so that they don't take your weight, or if they do take your weight, that they don't put your BMI or your weight on the front page of your release papers for your appointment that day. You have a right to ask for that if it's going to send you into a spin-off and you're going to just die hard into your eating disorder because you saw your weight and you're not happy with it, whatever it might be. Too thin, too big, dang, I haven't gained any, I haven't lost any. You feel the same panic. All right, well, I thought I might take you guys and show you my pond before I go. If you're not sleeping, that's not good. I can't emphasize that enough. It's not something we just got to let go. You've got to get looked at for this because your depression's going to get worse. Your anxiety is going to get worse. Your bitiness is going to get worse. Your deep, dark depression is going to get worse if you do not get some sleep. You have to have help getting sleep. And there's things they can give you that aren't barbiturates. I think that's the name of it. That aren't downers, real hard downers that you can't get addicted to. So please don't be afraid of getting some help if you need it, because then you'll think clearer and you can deal with the other stuff that comes with having an eating disorder. All the other things, the medical things, the emotional things. And as far as what I think I'm going to talk about in my next video, I think I'm going to talk about when I was bullied as a child. That was the first thing that started for me. Well, I don't know if that was the first thing. That was the first thing that was directly against me, that I was shocked by, and that it was so sad. It was so hard on me. I was in 5th grade, and I'll tell you all about it in the next video. I'm going to probably get myself a cup of coffee and go outside and sit. After I get dressed, I might, because I'm up. I don't know how you are when you don't sleep, but I'm not a napper. I can't sleep during the day. When I've tried it, it makes me grouchy. I'm tired, so I don't want to get up in 2 hours if I'm laying down and I'm tired. It's not enough for me. I'm better off to just stay up and get through the day. But it makes me so tired to get through all the things that we need to do. So, oh, look at my baby on the front porch. Are you wanting inside, baby Charlie boy? You want to come in? There's our pond. It's 7 acres, almost 7 acres. Come on, puppy. And I've got to get out there and rake all my stones. See, we've got a little seat here for the dogs. They hop up on there and look out the window. They love watching the squirrels and stuff. I have to keep my seats like that, or the dogs climb up on, and that one has a seat. It's up there. And they'll climb and sit there and whine and fuss and carry on. Okay, thanks for joining me. Get some rest. Get some help. turn to your doctor. If you're not seeing someone right now, you should be seeing someone if you feel like you're not eating enough, because it's serious business, people. It really is. It's not just a fad diet. Your body isn't meant to starve, and your body isn't meant to not sleep. So get some help if you need it. That's it for this time. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.